What's up, everybody? Nate here from Out of the Basement, bringing you a brand new action figure overview. Today, right in time for Christmas, we are going to be taking a look at the entire 2022 wave of Star Wars Black Series Holiday Edition figures. Now, if you're thinking to yourself that you've seen these figures before, it's most likely because you have. These were actually leaked last year and were supposed to come out last year. However, for whatever reason, it seemed like Hasbro couldn't get the mass quantities of figures out to the general public. So they delayed the release of all of these figures until the end of this year. So I finally got them all in hand, just like the very first wave. Each one of them is exclusive to a different retailer, whether it's an actual store or online. So it's going to be a little bit of a scavenger hunt to get these figures, which is always mildly annoying. But at this point, we pretty much know what we're getting into with these holiday figures. They are gimmicky repaints. There is nothing really going on with them, you know, no new pieces or anything like that, but it is just simply some fun gimmicky stuff for the holidays. As for which figures these are, let's do a quick rundown. First up, we have the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Gingerbread Phase 2 Clone Trooper. You can see all of these figures are going to be in windowed packaging, exactly like the packaging was last year. And they also all have a generic bio, which reads, "Celebrate the season with specially designed Star Wars figures from the Black Series." Wow. We have a Wookiee that is GameStop exclusive. We also have a Target exclusive Mandalorian Warrior, a fan channel exclusive Protocol droid, which is places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth, an Amazon exclusive First Order Stormtrooper, and last but not least, we do have a Walmart exclusive Scout Trooper, which actually, literally right before I went to go record this video, this popped up on Big Bad Toy Store. So if you missed your chance at Walmart, Big Bad Toy Store is taking pre-orders for this particular holiday figure. So that's 6 holiday figures this year, actually one more than what we got the first time around. That was actually only 5 figures. And we knew about almost all of these well in advance, except for the gingerbread clone, which was a nice little surprise. So we are going to just take a general look at each of these figures. I'm going to give you some brief thoughts on them, and we'll start with the very first one I got, which is jumping back to the gingerbread clone. Landspeeder Luke actually sent this one to me well before the holiday season, but thankfully these went up on Hasbro Pulse and were easy to get. This is a ton of fun. This is one of my favorite ones of this 2022 wave. Just something about seeing a striking brown clone with a white visor. I don't know, it just really does something for me. And of course, the little different paint apps on the chest and down on the legs as well are just some nice added touches. It is also on the 2020 Clone Trooper body, so you know that it actually has some really fantastic posability as well if you are looking to have some really dynamic holiday poses with your troopers. But I think this one is a no-brainer. We love clones here at Out of the Basement, so whether I disliked or liked the holiday figures, I knew I would pick up any clone regardless. And as for the accessories, you do get a white DC-17 and also a little Santa Porg looking nice and adorable as well. Each one of these figures does come with a little buddy accessory, just like the original wave. I'm glad to see that trend continue because I do like getting a nice little smaller figure. I think it kind of helps out a little bit with the value. And the next one I ended up receiving was actually the GameStop exclusive Wookiee. This one literally just popped up in stock on GameStop's website. There really wasn't a pre-order for it at all. It was just kind of like, all right, here it is, buy it, ship it, and that was pretty much the end of it. I think this one is my absolute favorite out of all of them, though. Such a clever repaint of Chewbacca, clearly inspired by Bumble from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And I think it just absolutely makes for a striking figure. I mean, I just love the white with the blue accents. You know, the hands are blue, the feet are blue, and then we also have a little bit of blue around the eyes as well. And I think they really nailed the look they were going for. He also includes a appropriately themed blaster and also another Porg. This one is like the flapping wings version, and he's got a nice little scarf on to keep him warm right before this Wookiee is most likely going to eat it. The next one I actually found in store, and this was the Target exclusive Mandalorian Warrior. This figure falls more in line with what we saw from the first time around with these, where it is just kind of like your base trooper with an ugly Christmas sweater in a red and green color scheme. So coming off of the Clone Trooper and the Wookiee, this one is definitely just kind of like, it also doesn't help that it's on the Jango Fett body as well, so even when you do get it out of the packaging, the posability is super limited on this guy, and those tiny feet still cause a lot of issues with stability, so you'll probably find this particular Mandalorian falling over fairly regularly. I do like the Mythosaur skull on the ugly Christmas sweater, though. I think that is a really nice touch, and we do also get a white pulse rifle, which I think would fit perfectly with that Droids Boba Fett we saw not too long ago. And the Mandalorian's little buddy here is a nice Snow White Bogling. Next up is one I think is easily the least interesting out of the entire set, and that is the fan channel exclusive Protocol droid. This is unfortunately on that old C-3PO body, so there is no elbow articulation to be had on this figure. And yeah, you could argue, does articulation really matter on these gimmicky figures? And I would even maybe tend to agree and say not really, but I do still think it is worth mentioning when they're using these really old bodies, especially when they have something that's better that also exists. The updated 3PO body was definitely available before these figures were produced, even accounting for them being delayed an entire year. So I really feel like there was no reason they couldn't use that C-3PO body. And then, yeah, this figure is just kind of your standard red, green, and white color scheme. There's really not a whole lot going on with it. And there is just something about that pure white head kind of gives it like a little bit of an unsettling quality, almost like Michael Myers-esque. You get no accessories with this one unless you want to count the scarf around the neck, but the little buddy is pretty good. We do get a repainted BD-1 here, all decked out Christmas style. Following that up, we do have the Amazon exclusive First Order Stormtrooper. Thankfully, this one is on the updated First Order Stormtrooper body, so those elbows are nice and deep cut, so the figure can actually hold the blaster with both hands, something that the original figure actually struggled to do, so thankfully they used that updated body. But again, this one kind of falls into the same category as the Mandalorian, where it's more in line with the first wave of figures, where it is simply just a red, white, and green color scheme. He's got a little, you know, kind of Santa cap look going on. I also do like the big heavy vest that they included this time around. We haven't seen that accessory in a long time. Although it is kind of interesting that they did choose to glue it shut on this particular figure. The original release in that also Amazon exclusive pack was removable. And the nice decals printed on it look really cute and festive as well. We get the First Order blaster rifle for the accessory, and then the little buddy included is a very cute holiday mouse droid. And last but certainly not least, we have the Scout Trooper. This is a Walmart / now I guess Big Bad Toy Store exclusive figure, maybe Entertainment Earth in the near future, but at least at the time of me recording this video, the only place I've seen it is Big Bad. But either way, that is good news, because this one was definitely the most difficult to get. Everyone knows ordering from Walmart's website is an absolute unmitigated nightmare. Even if you manage to secure a pre-order, that doesn't mean you're actually going to get the figure. And then even if you do get the figure, chances are it's going to be absolutely obliterated because Walmart ships everything in bubble mailers for some unholy reason. They did recently also have an in-store shipper that a lot of people's Walmarts ended up getting that had all of the Walmart exclusive Black Series figures on it, including the Holiday Troopers. So for once, Walmart actually seemed to have an exclusive in-store, which is shocking in itself. But mine were actually pre-orders that shipped from Walmart.com in a box. Surprisingly, I was legitimately shocked because I saw so many people getting the bubble mailer treatment. But yeah, this one is just that old Scout Trooper body, now decked out in a red and green color scheme. I think the Grogu printed sweater is absolutely adorable, and The accessory you get is the little blaster that the Scout almost always comes with, unless you're the Riot Scout Trooper. And the buddy, I think, is hands down the best buddy that we've gotten in this wave, and that is just a cute little Grogu in a nice little Santa sack. I think that is just like the perfect accessory right there. I almost think I might take it off of the Scout Trooper though and put it on that Santa Claus Range Trooper that we got in the first wave. I think that might be a pretty good combination. I think this one is, again, it's just another fun one. It's nothing too special, just more holiday trooper goodness. And there you have it. That was a quick look at all 6 of the 2022 holiday Black Series figures. I think it was a pretty fun lineup this year. Definitely the shining stars are the Wookiee and the Gingerbread clone, in my opinion. Also, shout out to the Grogu in the Santa sack. I think those are easily the best parts that we got this time around. At the end of the day, they are just harmless, fun, simple, gimmicky repaints, so they are not essential for the collection. If you don't want them, you can easily pass on them. All of these were around $27.99, which again is pretty steep for repaints, but I don't think a lot of these are going to be sticking around for very long, so I would recommend just picking them up as you can find them. I wouldn't really wait around to see these guys go on clearance because I don't think that most of them are going to get to that point. I will say though, I do think that it would be pretty cool if we did start to see some other holidays from around this time of year celebrated in this line. As of right now, both waves are very obviously Christmas focused, so I think it would be cool to see some representation for some of the other holidays that are around this time of year. And also I do want to see them get a little bit more creative. Like I said earlier, the Wookiee and the Gingerbread clone were a step in the right direction. I want to see some more stuff like that, not necessarily just troopers. I was just kind of brainstorming a couple thoughts in my head, and like, you know, maybe we could see a Jawa that's like an elf, or maybe Queel as an elf, something like that. Maybe Kit Fisto as the Grinch, or something totally off the walls, like a Gamorrean Guard snowman. I'm just spitballing here. These are just some ideas that popped into my head that I think would be a much cooler addition as opposed to just keeping on with the troopers. So there you have it. Those are my thoughts on these figures. Hopefully you enjoyed my overview. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are new. We're always talking about Star Wars, the Black Series here on the channel. If you'd like to support us in a more direct manner, we do also offer a channel membership, and we have a small collection of merch. There are links for everything in the description of this video. With that being said, special thank you to our current channel members. Your continued support is truly appreciated. And happy holidays and Merry Christmas to everyone out there, whether you're a part of the Basement Dweller Army or not. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm Nate from Out of the Basement, and I will see you next time.